here we have B6. First thing I'm going to do is label. So my front view in this direction. I'll be able to see that front face right there. And I'd be able to see at least the top section of that front face. Don't know what I mean. The bottom section down here, it's going to be hidden behind this section right here. So I'm looking at it from that direction. That lower part's going to be obscured. Okay. Okay. That's front. My side view. And see this face that's towards the front of my object. This face that's towards the back of my object. And then I would also see this face that's in between. Okay. And for my top view, I would see this section that's sticking up higher than all the rest. And I would see this section that's a little bit lower down. Looks kind of like the letter L. So everything is labeled. Now we can do our measurements. So if you're wondering, what's the height? So the height is going to be from the bottom edge, which is right along here, to the top edge, which is right along there. So that would be 6/4. Right. Now for the width, we need the width from the left edge to the right edge. So left edge, right here, right edge, you're right there. The distance between them, 6/4. And lastly, I need to know the length from the front edge to the back edge. So front edge, right there, back edge is right here. The distance between those two is 9/4. So if I did this correctly, I should be able to draw a box this size with these three measurements, and my object should fit in there perfectly. So, okay, I lost track. So I'm going to do that. So my starting point, height of 6, right there, width of 6, be there, there, and a length of 9. So you can see that, yes, my object would fit in there perfectly. This is a box that is 6 high, 6 wide, 9 long. Now, boundary boxes. So front view would be this, height and width. So it'd be 6 high, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 by 6 wide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. leave a 1-inch gap for our side view, a 1-inch gap for our top view. Side view sees the height and length, 6 high and 9 long. 4, 5, 7, 8, 9. And our top view would be our width and length. Top view, we see a width of 6, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and a length of 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Okay, so that's what your 3 boundary boxes look like. So while you're catching up, let's talk. So looking at this object, it seems that we have 3 different sections in our side view. We have 2 different sections in our front view, and we have 2 different sections in our top. So when you start drawing this, we could start with either the front or the top. Wouldn't really make much of a difference. So I'm going to start drawing on my top. Okay. So I'm going to draw the section that's highest, which is this one right here. So first, we figure out where that is. So that is in the back of my object. It's going to be in the back, and it's on the right side of my object. It's going to be in this back right corner right here. Now, if I look at the actual sides of it, it's 3/4 wide, 3/4 wide, right? And 3/4 long. Okay, be right there. Now, the other part of my top view, I'm going to go around it edge by edge. So along the left edge here, it's the full 9/4 long. So left edge doesn't change. Along the front edge here, it's the full 6/4 wide. My front edge isn't going to change. Along this right edge, it's only 3/4 long there. So 1, 2, 3. That's that corner right there. And from there, looks like I have to go in 3/4 long. I'm sorry, 3/4 wide. That's why it should be right there. That's that corner. And if I keep following the edges, it looks like it runs into the next edge there after 3/4 of an inch. So end up there. So start over there and go back, it runs into the next edge. So this right here would be that other top view. And yes, that line is going to be erased. Okay. So erase that. That is what our top view would look like. Okay. Now I'm going to do my front view. I'm going to start with the area that's pushed furthest down. So my front view, this area right here. Okay. So that area right there, it's pushed all the way out. It's towards the bottom of my object. So it's going to be in the bottom portion of my boundary box. And I see it's 3/4 high, 3/4 high, right there, and it's the full 6/4 wide. Front view. Be going across like that. Now, I want you to notice something. With this front face that we just drew, okay, on the left side of it, it's the full 9/4 long. It's the 9/4 thick. If we're looking at it from the front. Over here on this right side, it's only 3/4 thick. So there's a change in thickness from one on the left side to the right side. So that means we're going to have a dotted line. Okay, so we're going to have to separate that face with a dotted line like that to show that on one side of the dotted line, it's one thickness. On the other side, it's a different thickness. Okay. Now, our other front face would be this right here. And noticing that I'm only coloring in the top half. As I said when we began this, the bottom section is obscured when we're looking at it from this angle. So we actually only be able to see the top half. The top half is 3/4 wide. That's why you'd be able to see the top 3/4 of it. Right here. And yes, these two lines will be erased. So that's what our front view would look like. Now, our side view, we have 3 separate sections. So I'm going to start with the ones that are sticking all the way out. So this one towards the front of our object, sticking all the way outside. I see it's towards the front on the bottom, so it's going to be in this bottom front corner. And it is 3/4 high by 3/4 long. 3/4 high, 3/4 long. Right here. Okay. Next, I'm going to do the other section that's pushed all the way out. It's this one. So that's towards the back of my object. So it's going to be on the back edge. I see that it is 3/4 long. So from the back edge, count 1, 2, 3. And I see it's the full 6/4 high. 4, 5, 6. It would be right there. And lastly, I would have this section in between. So even though I can't see it all in my 3D view, I can see that it's 3/4 high and it's 3/4 long. So 3/4 high, put it right here. Okay. And yes, these two lines will be erased. Okay. But there is one more thing I have to do besides erase. This side view towards the rear. Okay. Think of it like if you have X-ray vision. You'd be able to tell that down here, it's a certain thickness. Up here, it's a different thickness because there's nothing behind there. So in the upper section, there's nothing behind it. So that means that the thickness does change. Which means I would actually have to have a dotted line going across that face to show that the lower portion has one thickness, the upper portion has a different thickness. And that is the full B6.